Hello, 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 hello. Deborah M. Ricks here, founder of Sisters Gathering to Heal, your book midwife, author of 3 books, attorney, mother, lover, friend, and I am a book coach. So, let's talk a little bit about self-love. Self-love, self-love, self-love. If you are a part of Sisters Gathering to Heal group, then you know that I often say, Spirit gave this to me a few, like months and months ago, that self-love is the root of all good. Self-love is the root of all good. Self-love is the root of all good. And let me tell you something. Self-love, we talk a lot about self-love, but what we don't do is that a lot of times we don't do a good job, I think, of helping people to unpack what is self-love, what does it look like. And first and foremost, self-love is not something that you nail down, got it, it's done, I'm there, I'm finished. I've been on a journey to love myself intentionally. I would say, for at least 2, maybe 3 decades. I've been on this journey to love myself. And so it's a constant unpacking, unfolding, pulling back, releasing, let go of, changing your beliefs about yourself, about the world, and what your role is in the world, who you are. For me, self-love today means that I have self-compassion. I treat myself with compassion so that if I do something and I don't do it well, I don't beat myself up anymore about that. I just say, oh, well, okay, I did the best that I could, and let me see if I can do better the next time. I have compassion for myself. And so I would invite you to have compassion for yourself. Because one of the reasons why we don't take risks, we don't do things that are new, is because we are so afraid of ourselves. We are afraid that if we don't do it perfectly, that we will beat ourselves up. We, particularly women, we do that. We will beat ourselves up for hours. Nobody may know about it, but it's going on in our minds that, ooh, you shouldn't have said that. You said that. You shouldn't have said that like that. And then it just loops. It's in this loop of self-abuse. So let yourself off the hook. You are always doing the best that you can. Always. No matter how it looks, how it shows up, you're always doing the best you can. So be gentle and kind and compassionate with you. That is an act of self-love. Okay, forgiveness. Please, please, please. I invite you to begin with forgiving your parents. A lot of people, particularly Black people, are taught that their parents did the best they could, and therefore we shouldn't hold them responsible or even look at and really examine how they hurt us. And I say, no, no, no. Crazy. That's why a lot of people are batshit crazy, because they are not looking at how they were injured as children. Okay, yeah, they did the best they could, but the best they could still maybe fucked you up, okay? And if that language offends you, then you don't belong watching me, because I do curse. So if you have been neglected, abused, maybe molested by your father, or your mother knew that you were molested by somebody and she didn't do anything. Maybe you were abused, and maybe you were verbally abused. Like in my family, I was verbally abused. My father told me, you will never amount to anything. Now that's verbal abuse. That's like putting a curse on you. Okay, and so you may have heard something similar to that. Some people heard the version, you ain't shit. Your daddy wasn't shit, and you ain't shit, and you'll never be shit. Well, that's abuse. And that is many people who we've heard stuff like this, and we are still trying to unpack that and trying to release that and trying to create a new belief. Okay? So forgive them. Why? Not because you're letting them off the hook. You want to forgive them because the damage that it does to us to hold on to resentment, anger, and hurt, it does you damage. Meanwhile, the person who hurt you is gone on. So forgive. And then I'll say, when you love yourself, I talk a lot about self-love because it really is the root of all good. You take care of yourself in all these different ways. And I can't unpack it all today, and I won't even attempt to do so because I want this video to be brief, right? But self-love for me means I learn to take care of myself. And what does that mean? Self-care is so huge that I can't even begin to tell you what it's all about and what it looks like. But I will tell you this, that one thing self-care requires of us is that we begin to listen, that we really listen closely to our own needs. Like, how much rest do you get? I'm really big on that today. That when you love yourself, you get a lot of rest and sleep. Sometimes, like, people pull you all these different directions. They want stuff from you. And you got to be able to say, no, not today. I can't spend 2 hours with you. One of the big things I want to point out to you is that people that don't belong in the front row seat of your life will often ask for your time. You have to learn to say no. Don't get on a phone call with people who are low priority. I'm sorry, if you see them calling, don't answer the call. That's just, and don't call them back if you really don't want to talk with them. A lot of times we feel like we have to give people time. Sometimes people reach out to me and I know that they are people I care about, but I know I don't need to give them 2 or 3 hours. And because of who I am, sometimes I want to, but I really know that I need to just okay, put them on, they need to pay for my time. It's not because, oh my God, let's be real. Like, I work for myself. And if I give them 2 hours of free hours, then now I can pick and choose and do that sometimes, but I cannot do that regularly because my time, I need to put my time with those who are in my inner circle. And then the time, my fun time with my friends. And then I can't just give away my time. Jay-Z doesn't give away his time. Beyonce doesn't give away her time. So don't feel guilty when you say no to people who are not paying. If you're an entrepreneur, you're a coach, and they're not paying for your time, it's okay not to do that, not to get on the phone with them, not to spend 2 hours. I had a woman reach out to me who was, I went to law school with her, and she reached out to me, and she just tried to suck me dry. And because she was so needy, and she wanted my time, and I had to tell her no. I couldn't meet her for lunch. I couldn't do it. I wouldn't do it. That's self-love. I said, no, I'm not going to meet. I'm not going to meet you for lunch. And thank God she went away. So I wrap it up. Thank you for being here. Self-love is about taking care of yourself. It's about taking care of yourself enough. Like, forgiveness is a way of taking care of you. Because when you're dragging around all that icky, nasty stuff that says somebody did you wrong, oh, my father, oh, my mother, oh, they were terrible, and that's why I'm messed up now, that's not loving yourself, okay? So love yourself enough to forgive. Love yourself enough to take care of yourself. Love yourself enough to listen to yourself, to trust yourself, okay? And you will begin to see your life unfold when you love yourself in a way that is just miraculous, right? And so I'm Deborah M. Ricks. I'm signing off right now because I don't want to keep you any longer. I love you too much for that because I know you're a busy person just like the rest of us, right? And if you want to reach out to me, you can reach out to me at DeborahMRicks.com. That's my website, DeborahMRicks.com. You can send me an email, DeborahMRicks@gmail.com, if you're writing a book and you're looking for an editor or you're looking for somebody to help you birth your book. And let me tell you something, when you're birthing your book, you're also rebirthing yourself, transforming your life, okay? All right, until the next time, I love you. Smooches, and be kind to you.